are a lot of training cycles out there. You got your deload week, you got your max out week, you got your endurance week, you have all these things. But one cycle that's not talked about enough is the menstrual cycle. Yes, I'm talking about training with your cycle. I've worked with countless number of women, and it's always, energy is low this week, and like, what can I do? And we feel so bad because the thing that we could do last week, we couldn't do this week. But when you can understand how to train with your cycle, it changes the game. So in this video, that's exactly what we're going to talk about. So stay tuned for it.
Cerebral flow in my head I go. Try reach me now, but my cell line slow. I keep it low, it's like where I go. Try teach me how, but I said I know. People know me like you like hope, and I need to know premise when I show. I collect my dough, do my thing and go.
To fully understand this, we have to know what the phases are. So first I'm going to give you the phase, the duration that it lasts, and how you can maximize that phase. Okay, so first up, let's just start with menstruation, because why not? So that's usually your first to fifth days. Maybe you have about 5 days on your period. So now during these days, estrogen levels are going to be really low. So you're going to feel lethargic, you're going to be bloated, you're going to be in some pain. So this is just not the days to be trying to do high intense activities, right? Your body is just not there. It's not ready for that. Your insides are literally shedding, and you're still expected to perform like a regular human being. So I'm not saying don't do anything, but what you can do is engage in light activities. Maybe we're going on light walks. Maybe we're doing some light yoga. Everything we're doing is very light, low, energetic, very calming. So we can still move our bodies. We could do some stretching, but we're just taking it easy these few days. And my own personal suggestion is prioritizing your nutrition and your water intake during these days. So yeah, exercise can be whatever it needs to be as far as the low impact, low intensity things. But if you can really prioritize your nutrition and your water during this time, that will be key as well, because we tend to be more reactive than we are proactive. So if you already know your period's coming up, you're about to start your cycle, and you usually just have all these sugar cravings and fat cravings and all these things, right? Like iron levels are low, so now we're craving like more red meat, all these things. Instead of allowing yourself to just binge out on these snacks, think about what it is your body is craving. Iron's low, like I said, so we're craving red meat, snacks like that. Maybe we just already have things prepared that have high iron in them. Maybe we have a spinach dish prepared, or something like that. If your body's going to be craving carbs, instead of just waiting until that moment, now you're like furiously craving chocolate and all the sweets, just go ahead and have some carbs on hand. Maybe you make a banana bread ahead of time. Maybe you get some potatoes ready. Just get the foods that you already know that is going to satisfy that craving. And alternatively, if you want to just have those 3 days and indulge in those snacks, by all means, go right ahead and do that. Just make sure that for the next days of your cycle, you get back on the routine you want to be on to support your fitness goals. All right, our next phase is the follicular phase. Now this overlaps with menstruation, with the menstrual phase. So this starts day 1 and goes all the way to about day 14. Now in this level, your estrogen levels aren't as low as they were in the menstrual phase, but they're slowly starting to come up, but they're not at their peak level, right? They're growing. The energy is coming back. We're feeling more alive. So at this time, we're going to experience a boost in energy, right? Maybe not day 6, but day 9, 10, 11, like maybe those are going to be your peak time. So this is your time to get back in the gym. Now we're going to do some of those HIIT activities. Now we're going to get our endurance training back. Now we're going to go for those runs. So all the things, like all of your peak exercises are going to prosper in this phase. Now that menstruation has ended, energy's up, we're feeling good. So this is the time to go in on everything that you want to do at the highest intense level that you possibly can. This is the time to do that. Our bodies tend to are more susceptible to building muscle in this phase, and we tap into our carbohydrate stores a little bit more. So meaning, depending on the kind of exercise you're doing, your fat stores could have a more decrease in here. You could be burning more fat, again, depending on the type of exercise you're doing during this cycle, or during this phase, I should say. Phase number 3, ovulation. Now that's a very short window, so you get probably about 2 to 3 days of ovulation, but just like the follicular phase, because it's kind of a part of it, that's really like peak level. Like you are feeling your best that day. So, that's your time to go on a first date, or, go do that interview, or, whatever. Apart from exercise, like I'm just saying, just energetically in general, this is your time to shine. So whatever you want to shine in, pick this window to go do that thing. But similar to exercise, continue what you were doing in the follicular phase. High intensity, lifting your best, running your best, stretching your best, doing your best yoga moves. Like, you're thriving. You're thriving here. This is peak moment. So we were climbing, menstruation was down here. We were going up the follicular phase. Like, ovulation is right there. It's the last moment you're going to feel good before we start going back down, if that makes sense. And then lastly, phase 4. That's our luteal phase. That lasts, day 18 all the way to day 28. So hormones are high, starting to get high again. So energy levels are coming down slowly. Basically, this is the time where your body is kind of preparing for either another cycle or pregnancy, if that's what you were aiming for. So that's why we're starting to get into this conservation time period. So during this phase, I'm not saying immediately, like, once you hit day 18, we have to just immediately go to low impact workouts. Now you want to kind of start to slow your workouts down a little bit, because you might notice that your body is taking longer to bounce back. You're sore for a longer period of time. Your recovery is starting to be a little low. Last week, you only need to recover for about 30 seconds, then you're ready to go again. Now you might need 90 to 120 seconds before you're able to do what you were just doing again. So, recovery is going to take longer. Energy is going to be a little lower. This is what we're experiencing. So we can still, again, be lifting our weights, doing our runs, but just understanding that we're not going to have peak performance, and it's going to take us a little longer to recover. So the things that I would recommend in this, if you were doing HIIT classes or HIIT type style workouts in your luteal phase, in your follicular phase, for example, now we might want to just focus on like low impact strength training. Maybe we're just doing like 4 sets of 10, having some good rest. Maybe we're doing that kind of training. Maybe before we're going on runs, maybe now we're going to do hikes or light jogs. So that's kind of like, we can still do similar workouts, but like a slightly less energetic version of it. And again, if you're more of a reader, I have written a blog on this exact topic, so be sure to check that out. But that's it. So there's your 4 phases. That's how you can utilize them. So when you're training, writing your programs, or you have a coach who's writing your program out for you, have them incorporate that for a little bit and see how that works for you. Have that 2 weeks of that high intensity stuff, and then 2 weeks of, we're starting to bring it back down before we bring it back up again. So experiment with that. Get the nutrition together. If you would like to see how you can eat during your menstrual cycle, then comment in below. Let me know if that would be a video that interests you. I can definitely make that. I might make it anyway, but it's good to know feedback if you're interested in that kind of content. If you like this video, you know what to do. Give me that thumbs up. The knowledge we gain is powerful, but it's knowledge we share that makes a difference. So share this video with women in your life that experience this, menstrual cycle, that want to stay on their fitness goals, but just don't know how to align the two. This could be the changer for them. And I'll catch you in my next video. As always, don't forget to crush it.